Hey guys, it's Julia, and this series that you're watching is all for people who think they're not flexible enough to do yoga. This video in particular, we're going to focus on your legs and your hips, and it doesn't matter if you have any yoga experience whatsoever. It's just for total beginners, and you're gonna do great. Let's get started. So for this practice, it's helpful to have a block and a bolster. But if you don't have those at home, it's totally okay. You can use something like a sturdy book and a pillow from your bed, and those will do just fine. Okay, so grab your pillow or your bolster, and we're gonna come to a seat. So when you use a bolster, it just allows your hips to be a little bit higher than your knees so that your hip flexors are a little bit more comfortable, and you can find a place where your legs are a little more grounded. We'll start today's practice with some breathing. So take all of your air in until you're 100% full, and then just sigh everything out. Let your arms drop to your side. Good. On your inhale, reach your arms up, breathe in through your nose. Seal your palms at the top. Exhale, hands all the way down to your heart. Inhale, big sweep, reach up, full lungs. Exhale, hands to your heart. Keep going like that. Big breath in through your nose. Exhale your hands to your heart. This time, keep your lips sealed. Inhale through your nose. Lips sealed, exhale through your nose. Let's take 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. So now that you've set your breath, you're welcome to keep that inhale and exhale through your nose as we move through practice. But if any time you become overheated, feel free to take an open mouth exhale. Let's come back to downward facing dog. So move your pillow or bolster over to the side. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And if this is your first downward facing dog of your day, it may feel good to pedal in your legs, just to loosen up the back line of your legs and into your hips, especially since that's where we want to target and open our body today. A few more breaths, just warming up the back line of your legs, warming up your hips. Stay strong down through your hands, long in your arms and your torso. Good. Take a full breath in and lift both of your heels high, lift your seat high. On your exhale, press both of your knees and your heels low. And if you notice that having your knees really long here hurts your hips, hurts your legs, makes your hamstrings feel a little bit tight, then just softly bend your knees. Good. Take another breath in and a full breath out. On your next breath in, walk your hands back to the back of your mat, and then hang in a forward fold with your feet wide, your knees bent, and then grab for opposite elbows. Let the top of your head just drop straight down to the floor. When you have your knees bent, this allows your low back and your hips to get some of this fold instead of just your hamstrings. And we'll get into our hamstrings plenty today. So for this first forward fold, keep your knees nice and bent, and allow your upper back to round and your head to drop. 2 more breaths. Good. Release your fingertips down. Walk forward all the way to a plank pose. Then hinge forward, lower your knees, and come all the way down to your belly. Loop your shoulder heads back and untuck your toes. Lift just 1 time into cobra pose. Inhale as you do, chest comes up. Let your gaze come forwards. Then exhale, put your chest down. Lift to hands and knees, tabletop. Then bring your big toes to touch, widen your knees, and shift back to child's pose. You can let your forehead touch the yoga mat, soften your elbows. And then if you notice that you have a little more space, invite your knees to get a bit wider right here. If for any reason this is uncomfortable for your hips or your low back, you can bring your knees a little bit closer. Use your inhale to lengthen your spine. Perhaps your fingers reach a little farther up towards the top of the mat. And use your exhales to feel groundedness as your hips shift back towards your heels. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Good. On your next inhale, lift to tabletop, hands and knees. Tuck your toes, press back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in down dog and a full exhale in down dog. On your next breath in, look to your hands and then step to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Drop your head, let your upper back round at the bottom of the fold. Place your hands on your shins. On your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, fold and then grab either your block or your book. Place it underneath your right hand. Bend into your right knee a lot and circle your left arm up and then reach it around. Bring your hand to your low back. This is just a nice stretch for the outside panel of your leg. Good. If your knee needs to be soft, you can allow it to be soft. Good. Take another breath in and then release. This time, place the block underneath your left hand, bend your left knee, turn your right arm up, and then place it on your low back. You can lengthen through your right leg, enough that you can feel a stretch into your outer hip, but not so much that there's pain in your knee. Take one more breath. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees, place your block to the side, drop your head. Good. Hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift your chest. On your exhale, lunge your left foot back, and if you'd like, you can place your pillow or blanket underneath your left knee for comfort. On your inhale, come up to kneeling crescent. So anchor down through your back shin and your front heel. Lift up the low belly so that front spine's going to come up. Let your heart lift, reach high through your fingers. Good, so you want to look for a stretch in the front side of your left hip here. Then interlace your fingers, press them up to the ceiling, and then bring your palms down to your front thigh. You can move your hips slightly forward until you feel the deepness of stretch that you're looking for today. So if this is pretty intense, you may want to stay up a little bit further or lower down to your level of intensity today. Let's take 2 more breaths. One more, in through the nose. Keep your lips sealed, exhale through the nose. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. On your exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot or grab your block. Shift your hips back over your left knee and hop your right heel forward. You're gonna come into half splits. Flex your toes back towards your nose and move your chest forward. So in this pose, we are looking for a release in the back line of a right leg. But if you notice that the back of your knee is a little bit tender, soften your knee. Good. From here, we don't have to shift far. Just turn your right toes out on an angle just slightly and then hug your outer right hip back. And this will open up some space in the sideline of your leg and hip. And the block here, or the book, or whatever it is you're using to prop your hands with at home, is just a great way to bring the floor a little bit closer to you if the ground feels far away. Good. Dial your toes back up towards the ceiling. Bring your fingertips to the ground, place the block to the side. Soften into your front knee, and then step to the top of your mat, and we'll move to the other side. Good. All right, let's take the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands on your shin, flatten out your back. Exhale, step your right foot way back. Place your knee down. On your next breath in, come to kneeling crescent. Reach your arms up overhead. Good. Press down through your back shin and your front heel. Zip up long through your spine. Let your chest lift up, but if you start to notice you're dumping in your low back, knit your front ribs in. Then interlace your fingers, press your palms to the ceiling, and then lower your palms down to your front thigh. Look for a stretch here, now in the front side of your right hip. Good. If you notice that you have a little more room to play with, you can move your hips slightly forward. Continue to breathe 2 more times. In through your nose, out through your nose. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Place your block underneath your hands if you need that there today. Shift your hips over your back knee and hop your front heel forward for half split. Tack your toes back towards your nose and move your chest forward. So feel this anchor and leveling of your hips. It's going to encourage some space through the back line of your leg. And then pull your chest forward to lengthen your spine, and that'll intensify the stretch. If the back of your knee is a little bit tender today, soften your knee. Good. So we'll keep the basic shape of this half splits. Just slightly turn out your left toes and pull your outer left hip back. That's going to bring the stretch all the way up the sideline of the leg. Continue to breathe. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Dial your toes back up. Place your block to the side. Soften forward into your front foot. Step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Good. Place your hands on your shins. On your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your legs, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, come on down to a seat. So you can stay on this bolster, or you can set it to a side, depending on what you need. Bring your right leg out. We're going to do revolved forehead to knee pose here. So start by placing your right hand down to the inside of your right knee. Lift your left arm up. Start to bend over your right leg, and you may notice this is plenty. You can stop right there. If you'd like to take it a little further, bend your lifted elbow and place your hand at the back of your head. Let your head fall down into your hand. If you have more room, start to slide your right hand a little bit farther down your leg and turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. In this pose, it can be helpful to just let your head hang heavy in your hand, and you'll feel this stretch all the way down the side seam of your body, as well as in the underside of the long leg. Good. Take 2 more breaths. Great job. On your inhale, come on up to sit and switch legs. Extend your left leg and bring the sole of your right foot to the inseam of your thigh. It's really normal if one side feels more open than another, so don't worry about that so much. Take this side as a brand new opportunity. Place your left hand to the inside of your left knee. Reach your right arm up. As you feel able, start to bend over your left leg, and you have the option to bend your elbow and place your head in your hand. If you have a little more room, then side bend a bit further, slide your hand down, and take your gaze up towards the ceiling. Breathe into the side seam of your body. And know that it's not about how far you go, it's more about the sensation you feel in your body. So breathe towards the stretch. And it's okay to just be right where you are. 2 more times. Last breath. Great job. Use your inhale to rise up. This time, bring both of your feet together. Let your knees open wide. So if your knees are way up high, it's totally okay. You can be right here. Just working on allowing gravity to lower your knees. If you have a little more room to play with, lift your chest up Press your heels together and start to bow forward. And as you bring your chest forward, you might notice, that's plenty. Stay right there. That's fine. Think about gravity opening up this stretch for you. So you don't really have to pull or tug too much on your body. Instead, work with your breath and be gentle. Two more breaths. Great job. Use your inhale to sit up. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees, close them. We're going to take seated forward fold. For the next pose, I like to reintroduce my prop. So slide your pillow or rolled up blanket underneath your knees and extend your legs forward. So what the pillow or the bolster does here is it just gives your hamstrings a little bit of softness so that we can bring this next fold into our hips and our low back. Good. From here, inhale, reach your arms up. On your exhale, fold forward and land your hands wherever they want to land. So that might be right here on your mat or on your shins, or you may be a little bit more open and you want to touch your toes. Use your inhale to move your chest forward and your exhale to crease right at the hip. Yeah. And then once you feel a good stopping point, just breathe right there with that stretch. If your lower legs need a little bit of love, it can be nice to pull your toes back towards your nose, and that'll open up the underside of your legs. 2 more breaths. Good. Use your inhale to rise up. Stamp your feet and place your hands behind you. Then just rock your knees side to side. It can be a really great way to loosen up after a big stretch. So whenever we think about stretching our body, it's just important to remember that it's not about what the pose or the stretch looks like. It's about what it feels like for you. So for this and any other yoga pose, just look for a sensation of ease. Good. Now bring your bolster with you, lie all the way down on your back. So come on down to your back. Slide your bolster right underneath your thighs and extend your legs out. Now take your arms up over your chest just so you can pull each shoulder blade out from underneath you and lay on down. Let your eyes come to close and breathe softly. So in yoga, most of our classes end with a shavasana. And even if you think, I'm brand new to yoga, I can't do yoga, or I'm not flexible enough for yoga, if you can lay down on your mat and take deep breath, you're doing yoga. And shavasana, this pose right here, is the most important pose of your practice. Finding time to just let go and be at ease in your body. Take a few more breaths. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms overhead. Bring your knees in and roll to your side. From there, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for tuning in. You did great. If you'd like to see this entire series right now, head over to wellnessplus.tv, or you can subscribe. If you want to learn more about me and my practice, head over to juliamarieyoga.com. Thanks and namaste.
With hundreds of videos that you can stream on virtually any device to help you reduce stress, lose weight, or just improve your health and well-being overall. At wellnessplus.tv, we are dedicated to helping you on your health and wellness journey. Join wellnessplus.tv to find hundreds of videos to help you improve the health of your body and your mind. wellnessplus.tv. Get well, feel better.